Last question today is from Will. Will wants to know, is political correctness the same as being a social justice warrior, or SJW? Oh boy, this question is going to open up a lot of critiques and comments and insults, I am sure, from the internet community. No, political correctness and social justice warrior are not the same thing. Social justice warrior is a generally meant negatively title assigned to individuals that are seen or self-proclaim that they're fighting for what they view as social justice. And the critique is that the social justice warriors are either concerned with the wrong issues or using bad tactics or concerned with things they shouldn't be concerned about. And you often hear all of these other catchphrases used, like virtue signaling and concern trolling, etc., etc. So social justice warrior is something that many people consider themselves to be as a positive thing, and a term that has taken on decidedly negative connotations in some communities, including some right-wing internet communities. So that's one thing. Political correctness is a term that is used mostly as a critique of those who believe that, to sort of be charitable in terms of what they believe, that words have meaning, that it makes sense to choose words carefully, and that it makes sense not to, as I like to say, be offensive for the sake of being offensive. Now, I am someone who has spoken out against what I consider irrational or overbearing political correctness to the extent that it exists. At the same time, I believe that just walking around and constantly slamming overbearing political correctness, as many in the right and many in our online audience do, is sort of a distraction. And as producer Pat put it really well to a caller who some weeks ago said that he had voted for Donald Trump because he was against political correctness, and we changed his opinion about who he should have voted for within about 4 minutes, Pat asked a really good question, which is, what phrase or term do you want to use that you feel you can't because of political correctness? And I think that is a really great question to be asking those who criticize supposed overbearing political correctness. So one example that I think is an example that we should be sort of concerned with is, we can't say, according to some, the phrase radical Islam. I have no problem using that term, and we've talked about radical and extreme Christianity, we've talked about radical and extreme elements of many religions and cults, etc. And that is something that exists, and I think that it is no problem to say that. I've made that very clear. On the other hand, to say that overbearing political correctness has unfairly made it not okay to use terms like retard or the N-word or the K-word for Jews, or whatever, I find that to be a completely flaccid and bogus critique, because those are words that, by and large, when they're used either out of total ignorance as to the impact and historical significance that many of those words have, or they're being used deliberately to insult people. So when people say, hey, I don't like overbearing political correctness, well, what word or phrase is it that you'd like to be parroting, spouting off about, that you feel you can't? And if you get a list, or maybe even just one, then we can try to figure out, well, why is it that you're so desperate to use that word, that you're making political correctness an issue for making it not okay socially for you to use that word? And let's explore what that means about you. So PC and social justice warrior, totally different things. My views on those issues, totally different, and my sense is that there will be many reactions to this from people in our audience. We have a great bonus show today. I don't even have time to tell you what is on it, but believe me, just trust me, it's a tremendously good bonus show, and you can sign up at davidpakman.com/membership. If normal membership prices are too high for you, by all means, use the coupon code IVOTED17, all one word, all lowercase, I voted 17, and you'll get a nice membership discount that hopefully will make it more affordable. And we just want people involved at any price level. If you can't pay the full price, I'm glad to offer discounts because we're building a movement here, and buy-in at any financial level is really, really important and appreciated. I'll speak to you on the bonus show in just a few minutes.